Ranil is under pressure to make Namal the PM candidate. Basil in balancing act with Prasanna, a divided opinion within the UNP. Dhammika is a disappointed man. Namal played for a different goal. Ranil's warning over 22A. GL agrees with Wijayadasa for once. Kusal's take on 22A. 12 SLPP district leaders to fight on Ranil's behalf. Affirm no to any other candidate. Waruna gets blamed over another's immorality. Chamuditha gets a warning from Lalkantha. Fonseca and his begging bowl for presidential candidacy.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Ranil under pressure to make Namal the PM candidate. The presidential polls are due in 3 months' time, but the government is yet to decide on a candidate. That matter seems to have divided the SLPP too. At the Kadawatha rally on the 21st, Prasanna Ranatunga and the lot endorsed Ranil Wickremesinghe to be their candidate. But just that morning, Namal Rajapaksa said they were yet to make a decision. Prasanna had a meeting on that with Basil yesterday afternoon, but it ended without any agreement. Another discussion was scheduled for this morning, with Prasanna too invited. After that rally, Namal's right-hand man Damitha Wickramasinghe's WhatsApp group circulated a news that Ranil has been asked to obtain the support of 25 SJB MPs soon. That was in response to a claim by the Lanka and Dhuminda faction that getting SJB MPs to join the government will not be possible as long as the Rajapaksas remain with Ranil. So, the SLPP has offered to leave if it comes in the way of his getting that support. Namal's side has shared social media posts ridiculing Ranil, asking him to show support from 5 SJB MPs at least. In the meantime, they are campaigning within the party that either Namal or Dhammika Pereira should be fielded as their candidate. All these are now worrying Wajira and Ravi K, who made plans to form a UNP-led alliance in Ranil's support. They maintain that they need the Rajapaksas, especially Mahinda, if Ranil is to win. Others disagree, insisting that if the Rajapaksas leave, it will end the barrier against SJB as well as Tamil and Muslim MPs from supporting Ranil. Anyway, Dhammika is yet to make it clear if he is going to contest. Last Saturday, he told journalists following an early childhood education certificate awarding in Kandy that Mahinda will take the final decision. Noting that he was still to be asked by Mahinda, he said he was prepared to take up any challenge if that request came. He said he does not want to cling on to politics, having much more to do for the country. A message was reportedly relayed by a key Rajapaksa family member to Ranil via a state minister yesterday that they are prepared to support him on the condition that Namal is made the prime ministerial candidate. That state minister is close to the family and maintains links, although he now fully supports the president. However, Ranil has been saying that the post of the prime minister would go to the party that wins the highest seats at the general election. Critics say Namal had been going around the country to strengthen his party with eyes of the premiership. If the SLPP becomes divided, it will adversely impact on his dreams of becoming the opposition leader in 2025 and going on to contest the 2029 presidential polls. Ranil's warning over 22A. Several civil society organisations held a protest in front of the election secretariat in Rajagiriya yesterday too, against a postponement of the presidential polls. Their placards voiced opposition to Sirikotha conspiracies and demanded the commission enforces its powers immediately. All these are because of the suspicion that Ranil will put off the election somehow. He answered his critics in the same afternoon. He told government MPs that funds have not been allotted to hold a general election this year. The president noted that the budget has set aside 10 billion rupees to hold a presidential election. He also said he had nothing to do with the fundamental rights petitions filed in courts to seek a postponement of the presidential polls. Furthermore, Ranil reminded them that he had the 22nd Amendment in his hands and warned that he had the power to change the president's term as he wished. In the meantime, Lanka reports the 22nd Amendment will be submitted to Parliament on the 26th. Deputy Secretary-General of Parliament Chaminda Kularatne said the leader of the House was yet to inform them about that. The Gazette on the amendment was issued on the 18th and can be tabled in the House within 7 days for the first reading. It intends to reduce the President's term from 6 to 5 years. Leaders of the SLPP and other parties warn they will oppose any attempts to put off the election. Constitutional expert Professor G.L. Pieris says the amendment will definitely have an impact on the election. That attempt will be defeated, he told the media. GL also noted Justice Minister Wijayadasa Rajapaksa's warning that consequences will have to be borne by those who gazetted it against his advice. TNA lawmaker M.A. Sumanthiran, too, has spoken along the same lines. In the meantime, political critic Kusal Pereira's view is that the amendment does not need passage at a referendum, and there is no basis to the claim that Ranil is using it to postpone the election. The 22nd Amendment is now the hot topic. If it is taken to court and a decision obtained, other things could take precedence by that time. 12 SLPP district leaders to fight on Ranil's behalf. 12 district leaders of the SLPP have decided to act against it if the party decides to field a candidate other than Ranil. The decision came at a state minister's place down Malalaseka and Mawata last night. According to political sources, they have the backing of nearly 75 SLPP MPs. They also decided to coordinate with them and local government chiefs to carry out a campaign in support of Ranil. We will bring more details soon. Waruna gets blamed over another's immorality. The Leader TV exposed yesterday about State Minister Prasanna Ranawira having complained to the President against a UNP electoral organiser in Kelaniya. It was over a business deal. It was said that Ranawira did not attend the Kadawatha rally due to this matter. We also said that there have been complaints against this particular electoral organiser, that he is abusing his official position for political purposes. Soon after this piece of news was carried, UNP organiser for Gampaha Waruna Rajapaksa started getting calls, inquiring if he was the man in question. In the end, Waruna sent us a clarification, in which the UNP organiser since 2020 says he has never attended a meeting of the Kiribath Traders Association. He also denies receiving any favours for political or personal purposes from any businessman. Further, he says he has never treated anyone to even a cup of tea at the canteens of Parliament or the Presidential Secretariat. The news has caused serious injustice to him, he says, noting that he has been in politics for 25 years under difficult conditions. He asks us to get things cleared by inquiring from State Minister Ranawira and from Parliament. We did just that. Waruna has no involvement in the matter. Our reference was to some other UNP organiser in the district. Anyway, we apologise to him over any inconvenience caused. At the same time, we stand by our exposure. Chamuditha gets a warning from Lalkantha. Visiting National People's Power leader Anura Kumara Dissanayake met Japanese Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Tsuga Yoshifumi on Monday. Their discussion focused on Sri Lanka's current economic and political landscape, long-standing bilateral friendship, and the future of diplomatic and economic ties. Special attention was paid to the upcoming presidential election. Minister Yoshifumi extended his congratulations to Dissanayake on his visit to Japan. The meeting was attended by Tsutsumi Taro, Director of the Southwest Asia Division of the Department of Southeast and Southwest Asian Affairs, other officials and members of the Japan Committee of the NPP. According to party sources, this would be his last foreign trip before the polls. The plan is to launch a major propaganda campaign from early next month. State intelligence has informed government big shots about it. So the NPP and AKD are getting hammered from all fronts. Senior journalist Chamuditha Samara Wikrama too is in the game. Now he has received a warning about consequences from JVP Politburo member KD Lalkantha. Social media posts say he has not yet been able to get rid of the old ideals of the party. Others say AKD and Harini will come to his aid and wipe them off. Fonseca and his begging bowl for presidential candidacy. Up next is something that happened at the Rajagiriya office of a well-known president's council. Mahinda Amarawira and Lasantha Alagiyawana were there to discuss legal affairs of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. As the discussion was ongoing, Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca arrived to meet the lawyer. He got into conversation with the SLFP duo, who subsequently invited him to join their alliance. Fonseca's prompt reply was, "I will, but I need the presidential candidacy." That ended the meeting. Amarawera and Alagiawane looked at each other, inquiring if Fonseca was out of his mind. Such could happen for some as the election comes nearer by the day. For all that and much more, keep in touch with the Leader TV. That's it for today.
The Leader දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම